Hello everybody, Iain Robson here, welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Today we are taking some tires from San Simon, Arizona to Yuma, Arizona. I don't know why, but we're picking the tires up at a farm, which seems a bit, it looks like a farm. I guess it's not a farm. Anyways, we're picking it up at what seems like an odd location, let's just say that. So this is a 600 kilometer, just under 600 kilometer journey, in-game at least. And we're gonna go see if we can't see some more of Arizona. So far, I've been pretty. It looks pretty nice, actually. I like what I see. It doesn't. I'm not blown away by it per se, and I think that's just primarily because of the type of scenery there is. There's no crazy things that really like jump out at me. I'm like, oh my gosh! But it does look really nice. It looks, as far as I can tell, like Arizona. Which is good because this is Arizona and it's supposed to look like Arizona, right? But like I've said before, I'm not American, so maybe to an American this would not look right at all, but to me it looks fine. Alright, 75 kilometers, or that's 75 miles an hour, so that's pretty quick. It's funny, when I was driving out west in British Columbia, one of the very first times I saw some roads that actually were stated at 120 kilometers an hour, which was the first time I had ever seen that. I think the highest I'd ever seen previously was 110 kilometers an hour, and that was, I think, Nova Scotia. But they had some, like, I was basically driving like in the mountains for all intents and purposes, and in the mountain pass they had like 120 kilometers an hour was the speed limit, which was just crazy. It seemed crazy, at least, because I had never done that before. But yeah, it was just really strange. There's that truck I talked about last episode that looked like they added. I don't remember seeing it before that now, but or before this patch, but maybe they did have it in before, I don't know. So yeah, it was super strange. They had like, so it was really odd because you're doing like 120 in the mountains, and then like on one side you might have a drop off, but you're on a highway. It was really bizarre. I've never seen that before. Normally in Ontario, if you do 120 on a highway, like on the 401 for example, which is one of the main highways in Ontario, you'll get a ticket. So it was just strange to see like a highway stated at 120, like that was the maximum stated speed. So there are obviously people doing like 10 over the speed limit, 20 over the speed limit. There's actually one point where I think it was doing like, it was like a 70 zone, and there was an RCMP officer, because they have RCMP officers all over British Columbia. In Ontario we have OTTAWA, Ontario Provincial Police, but I don't think British Columbia has provincial police as far as I understand. I think there's only like one or two provinces that have their own like police division. Like OTTAWA is like for Ontario. But RCMP I think is for the rest of Canada, as far as I know. Like each city has its own police department, as far as I know. But like on the highways, it's all RCMP that does it. At least I think that's the way it is. If you're from Alberta, I know there's some people from Alberta. Let me know. I think it's RCMP who does highways. For us in Ontario, it's like if you're in a city, it'll be these municipal, like for example, if you're in Ottawa, it'd be Ottawa Police Department, Toronto Police Department. But if you're on the highway, like on a 401 or something like that, it'd be like OPP, Ontario Provincial Police. So I think it would be the opposite. It would be different. Like in Alberta, it would be RCMP on the highways, and then Alberta Police Department, or Calgary Police Department. Sorry, we don't want to take that. We want to continue not going straight, which is actually going straight, which turns off. I don't know. These intersections always throw me off. Sorry, car. I didn't realize there was a car behind me. They always throw me off. It's one of those situations where you're like, okay, so which way is it taking you straight or going off to the right? I don't know. Anyhow, this is another section of Arizona. Looks like there's a train right there. Nice. I've seen actually, so far in the Arizona state, I almost said province, in Arizona state, I've actually seen quite a few trains, more so than other states it feels like. Now granted, I haven't played much prior to the public beta, but I don't remember seeing as many trains. There seems to be a lot of trains in Arizona, which I'm happy with, don't get me wrong. I just couldn't remember seeing them like in other states. It seems to be, this is the one that I have seen a lot so far. So there you go. More mountains and valleys. Very cool. Actually, in Alberta, this kind of reminds me a bit of Alberta, a little bit, because Alberta it would be like flat like this, but in the distance you would see the mountains, which is kind of crazy. When I was in Calgary, it was you could like look out in Calgary on a clear day and see like the Rocky Mountains essentially. So for you, and if you're in America, it would be Colorado would be the place. But I think Colorado is all kind of mountainous, I think. But Alberta is like, there's parts of Alberta that are like flat, and there's parts of Alberta that are like Rockies essentially. So it's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like in one day I went from like, being in a like, flat plains like area to being in the Rockies. And that was kind of bizarre doing that for the first time. Alright, take a look around. What do we got up here? I have to be careful looking around too much or else I'll probably run into something. Like I normally do at least. This is why I do this in a game, not in real life. A lot of people have said like, you're not a very good driver. I'm like, this is why I'm not a truck driver in real life. So looks pretty nice. Get over here. I don't know. What are your thoughts about Arizona so far? Are you satisfied with what you're seeing, or are you dissatisfied? Would you like to see more of something? Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are about it. Because I'm kind of curious. I'm not, like I've said many times now, I'm not from Arizona. I'm not from the United States, so I've never been to Arizona either, so I can't compare it to anything. Alright. Yeah, it looks alright. Looks kind of cool. Kind of reminds me of the Coast to Coast map a little bit. Some of the sections in the Coast to Coast map are kind of like this, where it's kind of like you have hills on either side, and then you're driving like in the valley sort of idea. Public storage. Gonna indicate here because we wanted to go to Yuma, not El Centro. I don't want to get caught behind this truck because apparently the truck is going slower than I am. That's why I drive a Peterbilt, not a Kenworth. Just saying. No, I'm kidding. Alright. I don't know. I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm not sure how much the DLC is going to cost actually. I'm going to guess around $15 Canadian. That will be my guess as to how much it would cost. Something in that region. Not certain, mind you, but that's what I suspect that it will be. I'm just trying to think what the other DLCs were. I think the Going East DLC might have been 2025 Canadian. Yeah, I think it might have been. I have to look that up now. I think it was in that region, somewhere in that kind of like, $15 to $25 area. Something like that, because the actual game itself was what, $25 for like $32 I think for me, Canadian. So whatever that would be American, I'm guessing like $23, something like that, maybe Canadian or American. I don't know. You have to do the conversion yourself. But it's been a while since I purchased the game, obviously, so I don't remember the price, right away, off the top of my head very easily. But I think it was something like that. So I suspect the DLC will be kind of in line with that. And I think that was what they were initially intending to do. It's like, keep the initial purchase of the game relatively low, and then have all the DLC, on point with that. So it'll probably be the same price, maybe the same price as the game, the original game itself, or probably a bit less, I imagine. But with each edition, you're getting a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and they're constantly adding stuff. Like SCS is really good about adding extra things and adapting and changing things, which is really nice because not every company is like that. So like, there's continually updating ETS still, which is amazing. You don't see you don't see the same thing from Giants, for example. You don't see them updating FS13 now, do you? So that's kind of what I'm referring to. So it's just nice to see that a company doesn't, just let people fall by the wayside. I don't know what was going on here, but they decided to slow down for some reason, so it's always annoying. It looks like we do a big around like loop here, from what I can tell. Alright, 55. Slow down a little bit. There we go. Looks like we need to take the off ramp up here. Ooh, a little bit of a river. Wonder which river that is. What if you're coming into Yuma? What river would that be? Let me know if you know. Whoa. Oh, I'm just gonna go down into second right now. I'm just going to continually move forward because this is the easiest way for me not to get stuck. Because the number of times I've been stuck on a hill is just ridiculous. I just want to keep, you know, edging forward ever so slightly so that I don't stop completely. I imagine it's a similar thing for truck drivers, you know. I'm trying to think now. They don't normally just stop. Alright, what do we got? Kenworth going through. We're good to go, it looks like. $35 miles an hour. That's like 50 clicks, I think. Here's 25 up here. So this is Yuma. We're in the city limits of Yuma. So you let me know if this looks like Yuma or not. Got a couple Bobcats. Skid steers, whatever you want to call them. They might have been Gel, I think they're called, like G-E-H-L. Might have been the company name of those. Or Cat, maybe. It could have been Cat ones. Chemron. Actually, when I was out west, they had a company called Chevron. And that was the fuel company out west. And I saw some Huskies, which is another type of fuel stop. Alright, make your turn. There you go. Oh, didn't take much. I don't know how fast I was even going. Alright, so we're turning left up here, so let's go up here. Are we turning left here? It looks like we are. Yes, we are turning left here. I don't remember if they had left turn lanes in the previous version. I need to go back now and look at some of the other initial releases or some of my earlier videos to see if they had left turn lanes, 'cause I don't remember seeing that. Maybe they did. Alright, there we go. Left turn lane, ahoy. Really, car? Come on, jeez. I think this is where they need the tires. Yes, right there. Alright, now this is going to be an interesting turn. I wish this was a time where I wish I could get out of the car and just look at what the stop is like. Because it looks like you can just drive all the way around, but I don't know if you need to or not. Alright, let's do this. Just take that toggle off. Because apparently my truck wants to keep slowing down too much. So we'll go around the back of the building here, warehouse, and just see what this looks like. I don't know. Of course it would be that way too. I had a feeling it had to be that way, not this way. I'm totally coming in the wrong direction. Yeah, we'll just skip that one. Excellent. Sweet. There you go. That was Yuma, Arizona. Anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed that episode of American Truck Simulator, checking out Yuma. And if you did, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more American Truck Simulator. My name's Iain Robson, and I'll catch you guys later.